Hi students, let's start mechanical properties of the fluid. In last year we have studied mechanical properties of the solid, only solid. Now this year we are going to study fluid. Fluids are something different as compared to solid. So what is fluid? Fluids are the substances which can flow. It has ability to flow. Why? Or because as example of fluid is liquid and gases. So why liquid and gases are said to be fluid? Because it has property to flow. Why? If we see molecular structure of the solid, in which solid molecules are closely arranged, their intermolecular force is strong, so that they cannot flow. But in case of liquid and gases, molecular structure, if we see molecular structure, then molecules are loosely arranged. Intermolecular force between the molecule or atoms is very small, so that they are loosely arranged, and as a result, fluids or liquid and gases can be flow. Okay. Now, properties of the ideal fluid. If you take ideal fluid, then it shows certain properties. Let's see one by one. First one is fluid is incompressible in nature. So what is incompressible nature? Incompressible means its density should be constant. Its density should be constant. That is, if you take any fluid into the container, into this container, and if you measure density of fluid at this point A, density of this fluid at this point B, density of fluid at point C. If we calculate density of this fluid at different positions, at different points into this container, then we observe that density of that fluid at each point remains constant. So that fluids are incompressible in nature. Incompressible means its density is constant. Get it? Now, second one, fluids have irrotational flow. Irrotational flow means streamline. Irrotational means streamline flow. Fluids are flows along the same direction. Streamline flow, you can take the example of tap water. If you start the tap, if you on the tap, then flow of that water which comes from the tap is streamline flow. And opposite to streamline, there is turbulent flow. Turbulent flow, for example, river water. The molecules of the water of the river flows along any direction randomly, anywhere. So, flow of that liquid, flow of that water is turbulent. But ideal fluid has streamline flow. Streamline is irrotational flow. Okay. Then, next property is non-viscous. Ideal fluid is non-viscous in nature. So, what is non-viscous? There is no internal friction between the molecules. Non-viscous means there is no internal friction. Friction is not takes place between two molecules of the fluid. When they are moving, then there is no friction takes place. So that we can say fluid is non-viscous in nature. Okay. And the last property is ideal fluid has steady flow. Steady flow means if you calculate velocity at any point, then that remains constant. So that we can say flow of the ideal fluid is straight. Okay, these are the properties of the ideal fluid. Now the next is difference between solids and fluids. So what is the main difference between solid and fluid? Solids can be subjected to shearing stress and normal stress. We can apply shearing stress and normal stress on the solid. Shearing stress is tangential stress. Suppose this is any solid object, solid body. A, B, C, D. If you apply tangential or shearing stress on this body at point B, then this AD surface, base AD remains constant, remains as it is, but surface AB and surface CD gets shifted, and we get the new shape of the body as A, B dash, C dash and D. Due to the application of shearing stress or tangential stress, shape of the body changes. Okay. So solids are subjected to shearing stress. We can apply the shearing stress on the solid. Also we can apply normal stress. Solids can be subjected to normal stress also. This object ABCD, we can apply the normal stress like this. Normal, the force is normal to the surface. Normal stress may be of two types. First, compressive normal, and second, tensile normal stress. It is maybe of two types: compressive normal and tensile normal stress. If you apply the force towards the body, if you compress the body, then the corresponding stress is compressive normal stress. And opposite to this, if you elongate the body like this perpendicularly, if you elongate the body normally, then the corresponding stress is tensile stress. Due to tensile stress, what happened? Body gets elongated, and due to compressive stress, body gets compressed. Both the stress are normal. Both the stress are perpendicular to the surface. Okay. Normal means perpendicular to surface, and tensile stress, shearing stress, means inclined. Okay. Solids can be subjected to both the stress, shearing as well as normal stress. But fluids are subjected to only compressive normal stress. We can apply only compressive normal stress. This tensile normal and shearing stress we cannot apply on the solid. But due to the viscosity, small property of the viscosity, or due to very small viscous nature, fluids can be subjected to very small shearing stress, but it is negligible. So no need to consider. Next is, if we apply deforming force on the solid, then its dimension gets changed, or we can say deformation takes place into the solid. But what happens when the deforming force is removed? When deforming force is removed from the solid, then the solid object again comes to its original dimension. It regains to its original dimension. Its shape and size again changes and comes to its original. So why this happens? Because of restoring force. Restoring force takes place into the solid, and which opposes to the deforming force, so that when deforming force removed, as soon as the restoring force acts on the solid object and restore that object. Okay, so that we are saying here deforming force is reversible in case of solid, but in case of fluid, deformation is permanent. If we change the shape, size or dimension of the fluid, then it remains permanent. There is no change in shape and size. when deforming force is removed. This is the difference between solids and the fluid. Now, next is the properties of the fluid. Before this, we have studied properties of the ideal fluid. Now, properties of fluid. These are the general properties. First one, fluids do not oppose the deformation. Whatever deformation takes place into the fluid, it remains permanent. Due to absence of internal restoring force, fluids cannot oppose to the deformation. Next is, fluids have ability to flow. Actually, this is we have already seen in definition. Fluids are the substances which can flow. Okay. Now, the next important property: fluids have ability to take a shape of container. If you add fluid into the specific container, then shape of that container is nothing shape of that fluid. Okay. These are the fluids of properties of the fluids. Next, hydrostatics. Hydrostatics is the branch of physics in which we study the properties of the fluid. Hydrostatics is the branch of physics in which we study the properties of the fluids. So this is the concept regarding to definition and properties of the fluids.